In this episode, we treat this rather chilled out red and white cow who didn't want to leave the crush at the end of her trim. I didn't notice this big girl Liam coming into the crush. Her front left was just her routine trim, but when I got back round to her back left, it certainly did not look as it should. I think this hoof here is going to turn out pretty interesting, so I switched on the camera and let's get her trimmed. And when I say this hoof didn't look as it should, it was hugely overgrown compared to any of the other feet on this cow. So I started the camera as I start to trim down, because more than likely when we see these overgrown feet, way more overgrown than the rest of the hooves, there usually is something lurking beneath. As you can see, this area of bruising halfway down the claw in that sole ulcer site, that's just from being an overburdened claw and carrying this pretty heavy cow's weight for too long. With more of the sole revealed, we can start to see this area at the white line, and there's a little bit of separation at the heel there up at the top for those eagle-eyed hoof specialists that watch our channel. That is probably going to be our next area for focus in getting this cow walking nicely again. Now that we know what we're dealing with, and I've took the little delicate areas at the beginning off with the knife, I'm going to start using the grinder, level off that inner claw for the block and take off some of that tougher wall horn on the outside of this claw. Not one of them deep ones on that, Jeff, please.
What kind of one?
One of those deep wooden ones, please. This cow's heel here is very puffed up, so I want to put a really deep block on it to really lift her off this area here. That's going to be pretty important to getting her comfortable. I try to be as fussy as possible when I'm preparing a claw to take a block, because I think any little bit of dirt or anything is going to affect the bond that the glue can give us. But this Black Magic glue is phenomenal, and I've been using it now for 2 years, and 99% of blocks or cows that I lift their feet to recheck, the block is still there. We don't normally touch this wall horn up the side of the claw in a trim, in a routine trim. It's just the sole that we're dealing with. Going up the side of it can weaken the structure of the claw, but as you can see, this cow has got an issue up here. So we're trimming away this loose detached horn so that new healthy horn, as this cow's foot heals, can regrow. And at this point in the trim, we can really see up the white line and up towards the heel, that line of separation which we need to follow just to get all of that loose horn removed so that this can make a full recovery. This job really can't be rushed. It's just taking off tiny little bits of hoof, and each one is just adding to the cow's comfort. And I'm just feeling each time just to see what the hoof horn is like in and around that area. And this lesion is getting a topical treatment of a bandage with some copper sulfate paste, which will really get in there, stop any digital dermatitis from setting up home in this lesion, so therefore this can make a full recovery. And once I get that bandage tucked in, I notice that I've almost forgot about the dew cloth. So just a little nip off of that slightly longer one and smooth off those sharp slightly edges of glue before this girl's foot is down and she's ready to go. Now girl, do you want to show all the people at home how nicely you're walking, hopefully after that trim? Do you want to show them? I think she's ready to show you. At least your bandage sort of matches your colouring, girl. This big red girl was so relaxed that she just lay down after the trim. She didn't want to leave the shoot. And as we watch back on this trim, it's really interesting. The first few steps she was expecting to be lame, and after the third, fourth and fifth, she's feeling relief. I'm happy with that. With each step, she thought she was going to be uncomfortable, but as she took more steps, the comfort is starting to... Not the comfort is starting to find that cow is starting to find her new comfort. Take care, folks. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate it as always. Hopefully we'll get Tom in the next one. See you all soon.